This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.
What indeed can we learn from the behavior of the chimpanzee, our closest relative, that helps us to understand the true measure of the human mind? Chimps communicated in a number of ways remarkably similar to our own. Chimps share with us a dark side to their nature. They, like us, are capable of annihilating other societies of their own species. They, like us, wage war.
If you can convince Joe...
He was a conspiracy theorist. He thought 911 for sure was an inside job. And then he started to get more on the fence about everything.
Right.
You know what I
so
mean?
you're trying to bring him back over.
He's not a conspiracy theorist, obviously. And but he's not a total skeptic either.
Some people would call him a conspiracy theorist just based on the moon. He didn't at least formally didn't believe in the moon landings. He talked to Neil deGrasse Tyson though. I don't know if Neil changed his mind. Maybe
the epigram on that is the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you.
That's rational.
And I've tweeted that before. And the epigram on that is the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you.
But he's not a total skeptic either.
Some people would call him a conspiracy theorist just based on the moon. He didn't at least formally didn't believe in the moon landings. He talked to Neil deGrasse Tyson though.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Here it is. If you look at like the fuel that was loaded up into the Saturn V rocket, you can calculate where that fuel could take that rocket. It's to the moon and back. So they're not going to the Piggly Wiggly, right?
Yeah.
In the Saturn V.
No, I'm a retard. Listen, if anybody has any real sense, they would look at it and say, "There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that was a hoax. There's no way.
There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way."
How come
not just that?
How come your cell phone doesn't work? Isn't there satellites?
No. Cell phones are direct. That's line. That's why you have those fake trees on the 405. Cell phones.
I thought cell phones went to the satellites.
No, not at all.
What's going to the satellites?
GPS, which is global positioning satellites.
I heard GPS is not satellites. I hear it's all land ground.
No, that's
a lie.
Wait a minute, GPS. You're telling me
GPS is global positioning satellites. That's what it literally is. Yes, absolutely
correct.
So GPS is not like the GPS on your iPhone is run by satellites.
This is how it works. Is that correct? Let me explain to you, Eddie, how it works.
It's not all land-based?
No.
I think it's all land-based, based on YouTube science.
Okay, let's
God damn it.
Let's avoid this. What were we just talking about?
We're talking about
Eddie.
Okay. That's why I was talking to you.
You know, there's people out there that believe crazy shit.
You're already there, dude. You're already pop. You're already there.
Have you ever listened?
You're like,
I am close to converting.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Have you ever listened to people that say crazy shit?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I ride the middle, man.
Come on, a fucking 47-story fucking skyscraper collapses at free fall speed, and you're gonna believe fire fucking did that shit?
Is the Earth flat?
No. It's fucking round. Is it like a pear, right? Isn't that what Tyson deGrasse says?
deGrasse.
God damn it, Eddie.
You
had me until deGrasse.
Didn't he say it was a pear?
Is the Earth flat, ladies and gentlemen?
No, there's no evidence that the Earth is flat. But you know what there is evidence is? There's evidence all over the place that NASA is posting CGI pictures everywhere of Earth. Come on, it's all CGI.
Goes
around. Is that crazy?
Game of Thrones is on tonight.
I gotta go.
Catch that.
Seriously. So you don't think
Eddie, the Earth is round.
No, I'm not talking about the Earth is round.
It's so round.
It's so round. I'm talking about that. But
you know, NASA's
pictures.
trolling. They have a Snapchat account, and just like girls, Joe Rogan's flat Earth denial. Please, don't.
You just hooked him up.
You don't hook that guy
I
up.
never said the Earth was flat. I'm just saying
I
NASA
am
be
saying
faking
it's
moonshot.
not flat, and
I
people
know-
are mad at me
I
for
know
saying
the-
it's not flat.
Really?
BJ Penn apparently thinks the Earth is flat.
Oh, no.
There are Tila Tequila retweeted her the other day. Thinks the Earth is in
Tila
fact
Tequila,
flat.
she's so smart.
I love Tila.
Fuck, man.
Well, you
Seems
know
like
one
a fun
thing?
gal.
Hey, do you
Earth
show-
is flat.
do you still-
A lot
do
of
you-
people think
did
the
you-
Earth's flat.
Hey, listen, I
Big
don't know what you're feeling
conspiracy.
You
anymore.
can't be
but
my friend if
do
you
you believe we went to the moon six
Eddie,
times
but
and
let's
back?
Yes.
Do you believe we went to the moon 6 times and back? Of course you do. Do you believe we went to the moon 6 times and back?
He goes, of course you
Do you?
do.
We did? You don't know you're on the fence?
He's from Ohio.
You don't know?
He doesn't
What
have
about you?
that-
For sure we went.
We for sure went to the moon.
Yes.
It wasn't. It wasn't a
Okay.
stage.
Hey, I'm not gonna debate it. I just want to know where you guys are.
I want to
That's
know
all.
where you
I
got
know
your
you did.
research.
Listen,
Hey,
man. Here's
Eddie, look at that
100%.
shit.
I don't believe for one motherfucking second we went to the fucking moon 6 goddamn times and back, and we can't do it now. We can't do it now.
We can do it now?
No, NASA says we can't do it. We got to figure out how to get through the Van Allen radiation belt.
that's not true.
Wait a minute. No, that's what they said. They're on record. There's videos of it. They're on record saying that.
No,
We're going to
there's
get to
videos,
the moon.
Brian.
We're going to get to the moon as soon as we
I talked to
figure
an
out
astronaut
how to
recently.
get three things. 3 things they got to figure out. They've already said it. They've already admitted. They got to figure out how to get through the Van Allen radiation belts. They admitted that. Once they figure that out, then they can have a manned mission to the moon. Wait a minute. Didn't we go 6 times in the 60s?
Conditions change.
Okay.
People back then used to
conditions
smoke
change.
cigarettes
You ever
with their
seen
corners.
Gravity?
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. And then the next thing they said they got to figure out the right uniform to handle that kind of radiation. They haven't figured out the right
Good night, ladies and
spacesuit.
gentlemen.
They haven't.
Good night,
They
America.
admit right
Good night,
now
everybody.
today.
Good night, world.
They
I'm
need to
converted.
figure out.
We love
they
you.
Need how to
The Earth
figure-
is
From
flat.
young Jamie.
I never said that.
From Brendan
I'm
Shaw.
just saying.
From
we
Brian
didn't go to the
Callen
goddamn moon.
and Eddie
We didn't go
Bravo.
to the goddamn
Thank
For
moon.
you.
sure went to the
I
moon.
love you,
Thank
Joe
you.
Rogan. I
We
love
went
you.
to the
I
fucking
love you.
moon.
Good night,
I love everybody
everybody.
in this room. I love
Say
everybody in
goodnight,
this
everybody.
room.
Please say goodnight. We're wrapping this bitch up.
Yeah. Game of Thrones, motherfuckers.
Congratulations. So smoothly.
They tell you, we don't know shit. We're looking at a bunch of lights in the goddamn sky. You're gonna tell me that light and that light that's 250, 100 trillion light years away? How the fuck did you figure that out? And
Well, don't they have an explanation for that shit?
No, exactly. That's what you just said right now. What you just said now is what everyone's
did we
natural
go-
reaction. Because
go
anytime
deep?
someone says anything about space, you automatically think someone figured it out. You don't know the guy's name. You don't know the name of the experiment. You didn't look into it yourself. You just think when someone tells you, how far is the Earth from the sun? They'll say, 93 million miles away. Like you just,
Right.
you
Googled it.
everybody relies on someone figured that out and someone double checked it. Dude, it's math.
Right.
It's science. It's math. But no one really knows. It
But
could
here's
all
the
be
thing.
bullshit.
Those documentaries get you so juiced up. They're so juicy. They seem so good. They seem so real. You get fired up, and then once you get fired up, it's tough to get unfired up.
Anti-vaccine or any kind of. Dude,
Yeah,
I
no
lose
shit, Eddie.
hundreds. I lose hundreds. It goes down. It's like 72,000.8, and then it goes 0.7, 0.6,
Yeah,
0.5.
man. People
They
get
just
pissed, man.
unfollow. They
don't
get
wanna
so
be
mad.
Preach, dude. People don't like conspiracy.
I lost so many
Bro, you
followers
lost a
during
lot.
9/11.
9/11. I wanted to tell you to stop. I want to say, Eddie, stop it.
I lost. You know what? I clean them out. It's a filter. I need to clean those fuckers out. Someone did come up to me and say, "Hey, have you heard that conspiracy theory where there's no forests?" Have you heard about this? There's a conspiracy theory where there's no forests. Look into it. So just no forest. I bet.
You love these things.
I'm like, I don't know what that is really. I didn't even look at I watched 30 seconds because someone in class told me.
Right.
A Ziggy came and goes, have you heard that
Right.
conspiracy theory about no? I go,
What?
what? So I went home and I put no forest and I watched 13 seconds and I just stopped it.
Have you seen the one where this dude said dinosaurs aren't real? Have you seen that one?
I don't know. That's like some other shit where I'm like, I don't believe any science. I don't believe any of that, dude. The only science I believe is you rub 2 sticks together and there's fire. That's other than that.
That's science.
You got to prove that
that's
shit.
like
to
a
me.
Boy Scout
I'm
merit
going to
badge
ignore
type
that
deal.
shit.
48 and,
But Eddie, you're not talking about.
Is that a show?
But if you
Is that
watch his
fiction?
Game of Thrones, he
Real
knows it's
shit.
fake.
Yeah.
You're watching
approach it like
Flat
this, like it's
Earth,
fake.
and you
It's
start-
entertaining.
But
Approach
you
it like
don't.
it's fake.
But you don't.
I'm just having fun.
What do you think? Is the Earth flat or round?
I don't know if it's flat or round until we see a picture from space.
You're
that
saying
isn't
this
fake.
bitch could be square.
I don't know what
So
it is. It could be
square.
round. It could be
What
way.
is
It
this?
could be
square.
round, but
iPhone
way
HD
bigger.
camera.
With fish-eyed lens. You guys are fooled by the fish-eyed lens. Come on, man. Come on. There's
So
plenty
it's
of
fake?
pictures without the fish-eyed lens that you could find. This fish-eyed lens, you guys
But
are
do you
getting
understand
fooled by some
perspective?
basic-ass kindergarten.
Do you understand
fish-eyed lens.
perspective? Do you
I
know
do.
that if
I do
that, at
understand
that
perspective.
high, if you didn't have a fisheye lens, you're looking at this tiny fraction of the surface. The
Take
reason
the
why
fish-eyed lens off.
Eddie,
That's
they
it.
do.
This was from 1946.
How do you know that's real? Could be fake because it's a picture.
I read it on
How
the
do you-
internet. That's why I know it's real.
I don't know. How do you know it's real?
You
You're a
guys are wasting-
photographer.
If you could
How do you know
show
it's
any,
real?
I'm going
I
hard
could
on
do
it
a
now. I wear it on the
selfie
fucking
from
internet.
space like this, and
Would you?
Eddie, that's
Eddie,
real? Shit's
Would
fake.
you?
That's real?
Yes.
Would you
That's
be
real.
open?
Okay, that's real to you.
Eddie, would you be open to talking to
I don't
an
care if you
actual-
believe that's real. I don't care.
Would you be into talking to an actual astrophysicist?
Yes, I would love to.
Like, what would you do if Neil deGrasse Tyson was here? Would
I
you
would have-
keep
I would
these
have
same,
questions
these
for him.
same arguments?
I would have some questions.
But would you listen to him? Like, if he,
Yeah.
if he told you some shit that actually made sense? Or would you just think he's a
No,
part
totally.
who's
No,
getting
totally.
paid
I-
off by
I-
the round Earth society?
I think he's there's people that they push to be the spokespeople.
And there's really brilliant people that are good at talking, and they're educators like him, and then they get on television and people love it, and so he comes back and then he does a hit show called Cosmos that reenacts the Carl Sagan show, and everybody loves it, and more people understand science now than ever before.
because he breaks it
It's
down
hard,
for them.
Eddie. You know, it's hard
Don't
because
be
you didn't
mad.
go to school for
Don't be
this.
mad.
I'm not mad.
Okay.
But look, I love you, man. I love you. You know I
just
love
don't
you.
want. I'm just
Eddie.
trying to. I want to be able to talk about flat Earth and have fun.
Okay, but it's not fun for me because I think there's some 16-year-old kids out there that are listening to this and they think you make sense. And the problem
Well,
is
what's wrong with that? Who cares about that?
because those poor
What's
kids are
happening
gonna,
to me? What's happening to me? My life is going to
wasting
shit?
time.
No, it's heavy.
I think it's wasting time.
Dude, you fucking come on.
Come on, Eddie.
You do a
No.
lot of shit that,
I do waste time.
that you would consider a waste of time if you
Some
didn't do it.
people would.
If someone was all into
Sure.
pool and he was obsessed with pool, you would say you're wasting your time. What are you getting
Right,
out
but
of that?
when I hit those
it's okay
balls,
for you to
I know
waste
they're
time.
real. They're real.
Okay.
I hit those balls, they go into the hole. It takes skill and concentration, and it gives me something to occupy my mind. It's a game. It's a mind game, and it's a body game. When you're watching a fake video the guy made about
You think it's fake.
nuclear bombs not being
you
real.
think it's fake.
Okay.
That's what you think.
Okay.
I mean,
I just feel like all the people that study it at all the universities have come to a conclusion. And then one guy makes a YouTube video, or 20 guys.
There's a bunch of
Let's say
guys,
there's
dude.
1,000.
Santos Bonacci. He's good too.
Why would you listen to them versus
what credibility
all the
do
people
they have?
for
Because-
generations after generations of studying the science behind it,
You gotta
repeatable
listen
science,
to it. There's a lot of shit. You
repeatable
gotta listen
science.
to it.
Right, but you just told us about this one test, and you parroted it out as some sort of a theory that we should look up. And when we did, it turns out it didn't even work. It wasn't repeatable.
You okay? Whatever.
Eddie, I love you, but I don't like the way you approach these things sometimes because I think it confuses the fuck out of people like I was when I was young. I was super gullible. I believed all kinds of stupid shit, and I wasted a ton of time.
Like what?
especially with successful
Fuck, man,
guys
all
saying
those-
certain stuff.
Goddamn UFO people, man. All those UFO stories, I bought in all that shit.
I never got
Eddie, have you
into
ever
that
heard of the
bullshit.
law of perspective?
Yes, I know exactly.
Do you know
what
that's
that
not
is.
real? It's not a law.
What about it?
That's they're giving the definition of what perspective is.
You know
but
what the
it's-
law of perspective is?
Yeah,
I know what it
I'm
is.
trying to tell you though, real quick. There are laws of conservation of energy and such in physics. There are actual laws that they can be translated without even speaking language. It's math. The law of perspective is not one of those.
What is it? Tell me.
It's just a definition of perspective.
is it?
I'm asking you what the law of
I know what
perspective
it is. I
What
know-
is it? Because it's not real.
Maybe.
Go for it.
Maybe. So you're saying there's no law of
I'm saying it's
perspective.
not a law.
What is it then?
Like
It's
when
a
you say the
But
law
what
of
is it? But what
gravity.
is it?
It's a definition of the word perspective.
Yes.
That's not a law.
Well, the laws of perspective are one of the laws is
No, there are
the
no
horizon.
laws of perspective,
The
though.
horizon
That's
will
not-
always
no,
rise
that's not real.
to high level. That's to eye level. That's not a law.
real.
It always
No,
happens.
that's not-
It
that's not
always
a law.
happens.
It's not a law,
but it
though.
always happens.
But
It's a
that's-
law if it happens.
That's not a law. This is where you don't understand part of the laws of science. That's not a law. That's a definition.
Okay. And
The
then what
definition
is
of
the
a
definition?
noun.
What is the definition?
Definition of a noun. It's a person, place, thing, or idea. That's not a law.
Okay.
That's just a definition.
All right.
Okay.
You know what else is? I used to call this double lotus for years and years and years. And it's not double lotus, it's full lotus.
It's not a law, though, right?
But it's not double Lotus either.
not a law,
It's
though.
not double Lotus
But it's
either.
just, but
That's just my
what
point.
you're saying, you're talking about a different word for the same move.
Same move, yeah.
What he's saying
The
is
rules of perspective,
that
is that
there's people
better?
No.
use-
The
that
rules
use
of
that
perspective.
It's
definition.
not better because
the definition of
hold on,
perspective.
hold on.
It's the same thing.
Because
whatever you call it.
You
God,
had a,
Allah,
all
whatever
right.
you want.
Well, when you look up this stuff online, I try to type in the law of perspective because I want to see what you and Eric Dubé believe that is.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I ever find with the law of perspective is the words flat Earth with it, or maybe there's actually the Urban Dictionary has a definition
And
for
now,
the law
let
of
me ask you something. What does
perspective.
it matter if it's law of,
But it's not a law.
of
It's not a
perspective
law.
or
They say
it.
definition?
It matters is
they're
because it's
using
science.
But if the horizon always rises
That's
to
not-
eye level,
that's not a law,
you can
though, my
consider
friend.
that. What would you call it then?
You don't believe in gravity, though,
We'll call it
either.
a thing of perspective. How
You don't
about
believe
that?
in gravity either. That falls at a constant of 9.82 meters per second. That's a law of gravity.
Gravity's a theory.
No. You
Nikola
guys have a
Tesla-
theory of what gravity is.
Yeah.
Density, but that's another scientific word. You guys say that if it's more dense, it falls, but why does it fall? Why would it fall lower if it's denser?
Because it's heavier than.
Why is it heavier? Do you know what?
Because it's
We're-
denser.
We're only
it's
heavy
denser
because
than the
of
oxygen,
gravity.
so it falls.
We're only
but
heavy
helium, how come a helium? How about
because it's gas. Helium is a gas. We're only heavy.
It's lighter than
It's
the
a
oxygen.
gas because
That's
of
why
we're
I
in the
realize it's
atmosphere.
lighter. It's lighter. It's less dense.
I'll explain. It's lighter because we're in the atmosphere of Earth.
Isn't it less dense though?
If we were in space, there is no atmosphere. That's why everything floats. Gases and us. We're dense too, but we would float in space just like gas.
If you do float in
If we got
space.
into space,
If
you're
you
correct.
believe
If we
that.
got out there.
If
So
you believe that.
can we not go to space?
I don't know how far we can go up. I
But
don't know.
Eddie, you know the space station.
I'm not sure.
You said the space shuttle went into orbit.
I don't know how far it went
You
up.
say
It went
don't
up
know-
pretty
you
high.
say
I don't
don't
know
know how high.
I don't know
Okay,
where it went.
but you know-
I knew it. I know it took off. Saw
Right.
that.
Okay.
And then I see it landing. You see that?
Right. You know
I don't
it
know
went-
where it went.
You know it went way
I don't
higher
know
than a
where.
plane, right?
For sure.
Are you not confused on what laws and stuff science are though? Do you not see that?
Okay, we'll call it definition.
But
of,
it's- but you
what do
can't-
you? What
but-
do we call it?
But that's not.
What do we call it? We'll call it whatever you want.
In science,
I
we
used to
call
call
things
this double
laws.
lotus.
We don't call them definitions. In science, there are
So
laws.
why does- so the-
because
So what is that?
that law, which
the,
is most
the
in most
horizon
of-
always
Eddie, you
rises
can't
to eye
talk
level.
over him.
In
You
most-
can't
What
talk
is that
over him.
called?
In
Let
most
him-
cases,
I'll
it's
agree with
math.
Hold on a
In
second.
most cases, it's math, the law.
Okay.
So that math, then, that formulaic equation can go to any country and work. I don't need to speak English to the guy in Germany to explain to him what I'm trying to get out of it. He can test it with the same things, the same variables, and get the same thing out of it. That's why all these things are laws, not definitions.
Okay, I get it.
Cleveland's finest,
Thank
Eddie.
you for clearing that up for me.
Does that work? Do you accept that or no?
I
Well, the problem
totally
is
accept it.
people use this verbose terminology because it makes them appear smarter than they really are.
Trying
it
to
makes
get a
them
point
say,
across.
No, Eddie, they're trying to say it in a fancier way because they really didn't go to school for this shit. So they say a bunch of shit that's not real, like the law of perspective, and it's not a law, and it belies the real problem. They don't have an education in this stuff. And they're just talking out of their ass.
They get
And it's
other people to
disrespectful.
follow. Yeah.
Disrespectful to the fucking generations of people that have been studying that their whole lives. That one guy can figure out all these different things, that dinosaurs aren't real, nuclear bombs aren't real, the earth is flat. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Satellites aren't real. It's ridiculous. It's one guy is the
It's
he
not
must
one
be the
guy.
smartest
It
person in
isn't
the
one
world.
guy.
Well, that one
It's a
guy,
lot of guys.
that one guy that you're pals with, you
lot of
love
guys.
that stuff. That guy's got videos on dinosaurs, on the fucking
He's your
earth being
friend,
flat.
Eddie?
He figured it
He's
all
my
out.
friend now. I had him on my podcast.
You should ask him how much money he makes off the flat Earth. I'd be interested to know that. He's written a lot of books off and a lot of YouTube videos.
Isn't everybody making money? I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Isn't NASA making billions?
Well, he's
Listen,
not NASA.
the bottom
He's a
line is
guy with a YouTube account.
NASA lied 6 times about the moon missions.
Okay.
I don't believe
We
shit
keep going
coming
back
from
to that.
them. That's it, but that's the root of it all. So don't be mad. That's
Well,
why I don't
not the
believe. You should
root of it
understand
all.
that.
That's
oh,
one
but they're
event.
different now. Those guys
so
are
because
dead.
of
Come
that,
on.
the
Come
most
on.
preposterous idea available, that every photo of the Earth is fake. And there's no
NASA
photos.
tells you that.
There's no
NASA
photos.
tells you that.
There's
They-
no
they make
photos.
videos of the composites.
Eddie,
They have special
You
videos.
don't,
They're
you don't
telling
find
you.
a problem that there's no photos of the Earth being flat? Not one?
There's no photos of the Earth being round
There's
either.
there's plenty.
No,
there's
not.
not even
NASA
any
will
fake
tell
photos.
you. NASA will tell you they have a CGI artist. How do we skip over
can't,
that?
I think we can't get anywhere
NASA
with
can't
this.
even get a
I can't-
picture.
I
That
think
doesn't
we
mean
can't.
that doesn't mean
They
anything.
never
Keep going in
proved
circles,
that CGI
dude.
artist was never proved.
It always goes back to that for me.
Jamie,
it's like
you
they
didn't see
faked
anything
6
in there
moon
about
landings.
the CGI, that
He
article.
just said he puts together data and makes photos out of
He
it.
puts together data because it has to be interpreted because you're talking about 1.7
You got to play the
terabytes.
video.
You said tregabytes.
Play the video of him talking.
The video
The
you
fuck
told
is
me
a
to play
terabyte?
wasn't
No,
him talking.
that was the wrong
Isn't it
one,
terabytes
obviously.
or terabytes?
There's
It's a
a
terabyte.
bunch where he's talking.
Terabytes like 1,000 gigabytes.
It says
I
it
think.
word for word. He goes, well, it is photoshopped. It is Photoshop. It has to be. That's exactly what it
Not
says word
meaning
for
it's
word.
fake, though.
It has to be. He's
I
saying
don't know.
Photoshop.
He
What
didn't
a-
say it in that article.
But he did say it coming out of his mouth. You just got to find the video.
Okay, but when you're talking,
Yeah,
you know,
dig deeper.
Photoshop doesn't mean that they're distorting the image. It also can mean that they're connecting a bunch of different images to make a
But
composite.
when you watch him talking about how he put together the official picture of Earth from space, he's talking about cartoon animation type shit. He's talking about his own imagination.
Well, maybe because he's talking about this insane amount of data, 1.7 terabytes, maybe we don't understand how the fuck that gets interpreted into an image in the first place. I don't even know if it's possible to do it in, you know, like to have an in perspective, like you're looking at like a 12-inch screen or a 24-inch screen, whatever the fuck your monitor would be, and you're going to take this 1.7 terabyte image and shrink it down so it fits in there. I don't understand that.
Mess with some shit.
I don't
All
know.
I,
I don't
all I
understand
see is the
that.
finished product is an admitted CGI composite. It's admitted. It's not even.
I don't know why you guys
But
did
all
this.
of a sudden, the
You keep going
Japanese
with
got
this.
real
Yeah.
ones. The Japanese got real ones, but
Can't do
NASA
it.
can't figure it out. Oh.
NASA's Rob Simon made this. Simon's job is...
It's primarily taking data and making pictures out of it.
That's what this is. A composite of data sets from several different instruments translated into a picture.
So we actually had to take clouds out.
They stashed the clouds for later, went onto the ocean. That came from an instrument that measures phytoplankton in the sea.
Where it was low, I colored it dark blue because they're low mostly in mid-oceans. And then where it's a little bit higher, it was like a little bit brighter green.
Then add the clouds back in.
There's a small problem with it because there's a very slight gap in between each orbit.
So some of those are painted on.
It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Then?
There was another layer to sort of simulate the atmosphere.
And then there's this little bright spot.
It's called the specular highlight. So it's the reflection of sunlight off of water.
Those are the pieces, but you can't just slap them all together.
It just didn't look realistic. It looks kind of flat, or the clouds are sort of too see-through. So I just hit Command Z a lot.
There's artistry to creating the world.
What I imagine it to be. Unfortunately, I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But I've looked at these images over and over again, trying to sort of get the essence of it. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be. It is photoshopped, but it's has to be.
Oh, come on.
Eddie, NASA does have one. That's what the problem is.
They
You
don't.
keep saying they don't.
From 1972, they're
No,
saying the
no,
only
no,
real
Eddie.
one they
The
have
I
is
just
from
pulled up-
1972.
The one I just pulled up is up right now. That there's pictures from today. That Discover one. You said that
Go
you
ahead,
didn't.
throw some pictures up.
I deleted it. I'll get it right back.
Okay. You guys can
But you-
believe that.
but why-
That's way cool.
but why
And what is it?
disbelieve?
And what?
So
Because I
you
don't
believe in
because
the
they
space
lied
shuttle.
6
You
times.
believe in the space shuttle, but you don't believe in anything else. That's where it ends.
No, I
So
believe in the
these
space
photos,
shuttle
satellites,
goes up and flies around.
DirecTV.
I don't know what it does.
Dinosaurs.
I don't know.
Here it goes.
Last
This is
year.
it.
That looks fake as fuck.
April 16th, 2017.
Anything you guys toss up, he's gonna say
I know,
fake.
that's
It
why-
looks
I don't know
fake.
why you
I'm
guys
being
do that,
honest.
but you know-
they
I don't know why
fake
you
them
do
all
it.
the time. I
Do you-
see the fake ones.
do you
the
have
admitted
evidence
fake
that you
ones,
would accept
and it
as
looks-
real
It looks.
to
It looks
disprove yourself?
just like the ones that were admitted that were fake. Let's say that.
Let's turn
I don't
this
know if
off.
it's fake,
Let's turn that
but they
off.
look
Let's turn that
exactly
off.
like the ones that were admitted fakes.
Will you
They s-
accept
they look
anything?
So they're all fake.
If they were
Or
real,
will
if
you
it
want-
was real,
Can I send you to space and like would you need a
what I'm
videographer
saying.
with you to
I just want to see
shoot
something
the
that's
video
real,
too?
man. I just want to
Elon
see something
Musk
that's
sent
real.
his ass up there.
Okay, let's.
I've seen
try
a
to-
bunch of
let's try to
fake ones,
stick
and then you
this
show me that
landing.
one. I go, that looks like all the CGI ones I see.
Okay.
I don't believe it.
Let's try to stick this landing. God damn, this is a motherfucker of a podcast. Jesus. I worry about you, Eddie. I really do.
You don't need to, man. I'm fucking better than ever.
I know
dude. You
you're
have
doing
no
great,
idea.
but I worry about you going down these rabbit holes of thought.
What's the big deal? Who cares if the Earth is round or flat? It's entertaining to me.
I understand.
That's all. What's the
think
big
you're-
deal?
I think you're very
Who
influential.
cares if if kids start looking into flat Earth? Good. Start questioning shit. If you look into it and you have proof that it is round, instead of going, oh, some scientist figured it out, somebody figured it out, but you figure it out. You try to figure it out. You know the one thing that all we know that we don't need scientists to figure out is we know a couple things. A compass. A compass points to north. It doesn't need a battery in it. There's this force. No, I know. Let me explain. This is all we know. This is all we know. It's pointing to the north. It's a magnetic force in the north. That's all. We know that for sure. I don't need a scientist to confirm that. I know that there's a force in the north, some kind of magnetic force. What else don't I need a government scientist confirmation from? The North Star. It's right over the north. Let me finish. Let me just finish. The North Pole, the North Star Polaris, is directly, coincidentally, over the North Pole, where all the compasses are pointing. All the compasses are pointing to the North Pole. There's this magnetic force in the North Pole, and coincidentally,
That's not where the North
Polaris.
Star is, Eddie.
No, I'm just saying the Polaris is directly over the North Pole.
Do you know there's been multiple North Stars?
Is Polaris directly above the North Pole?
Do you know that there's been more than one North Star over the history of the Earth?
Where'd you get that information from?
From the internet.
Exactly.
So you don't believe that, Eddie?
I don't know. I mean, is Polaris the North Star? Is Polaris the North Star?
Let me read this, please, because it'll explain. Right now, Earth's rotation axis happens to be pointing almost exactly at Polaris, but in the year 3000 BC, the North Star was a star called Thuban, also known as Alpha Draconis. And in about 13,000 years from now, the precession of the rotation axis will mean that the bright star Vega will be the North Star.
That's according to NASA.
That's according to every scientist that studies it, Eddie.
How do you know that?
Because that's why it's still up.
How do you know How do you know that? You just said some stuff you don't know. Every scientist.
Said, I don't know. Listen, there's no dispute about this. I bet Jamie could pull up 100 different fucking things that'll show you the same thing.
On the internet.
But it's not just on the internet, Eddie.
It's okay if you get information on the internet, but it's not okay if I get information. It's an information war. I went flat Earth. I thought, like, when I first heard that, I go, that is the dumbest shit. I remember Joe going, dude, there's people that think the world is flat. He was using that he was trying to explain how dumb people are, and I thought, what? Because there's people that think the sun is 3,000 miles away. I'm like, what? I remember hearing that a few years ago.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, and then I'm like, that's got to be some kind of CIA distraction. That's what I thought. And then on Joe Rogan's podcast, it got brought up again, like flat Earth. I'm like, are we really talking about that? It's got to be a CIA kind of cover up. I mean, people believe in Scientology, so I guess they'll believe in anything. So then months go by, and then one of my students comes up and goes, have you ever looked into the flat Earth? I'm like, dude, would you
that's the
stop with
ultimate,
that? I'm like, dude,
you're a little crazy right there.
That's got to be some kind of CIA psyop. And then he's like, okay, what do you should look into it. And I'm like, whatever. So then another student comes up to me and says, you ever look into this flat Earth? I go, fuck, dude. Please. I'm talking about Tower 7. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about no goddamn. I'm talking about moon hoax. I was really into the moon hoax, but flat Earth, give me a goddamn break. And then he goes to me, listen, man, I got my master's in engineering. Trust me. Look into that flat Earth. I go, dude. And then I got his number. I go, listen, I'm going to prove to you tonight. So I became the skeptic. I was the anti-conspiracy theory. Right. So I went home that night after class, and I go, all you need is a picture, one of those pictures from space, Earth from space. So I punched it in, Earth from space. And every picture was CGI. And they'll tell you, NASA will tell you that. They'll say, because of the way we take the pictures from the satellites, we got to put them in strips, and then we line it all up, and then we have an artist put together his rendition. I go, wait a minute. And then it turns out, I used to be a fucking space fanatic, man. Me and Joe would get high, and we'd watch documentary after documentary of space, the fucking universe, 12 set edition DVD, all these neutron stars, hyper supernovas, all this shit. Man, I thought I was watching some educational shit. I'd put that on over and over and over, space documentaries. Joe's got fucking 150 of them. And every now and then I'd watch them, and I go, it is kind of weird how this is all cartoons, but okay, whatever. And then I wouldn't think about it. And 10 DVDs later, I'm like, there's no real footage. It's all cartoons. But somebody figured it out. This is the way it's supposed to look. Somehow they figured out these are how galaxies look, spiral galaxies. Somehow they figured out that galaxy is 150,000 light years away from that galaxy. Some scientist figured it out. I'm just going along with it, listening to the narration and these documentaries, like learning like everything that's said in those documentaries. I'm like, fuck yeah, okay, I gotta remember that. 33 million miles, okay, cool. The sun is 93 million miles away. I'm like memorizing this shit. But then when I try to disprove flat Earth, and every flat Earth guy There's a reason why it's fucking huge, dude. Because every flat Earth guy is like out to prove that it's not real, and all you find is CGI. And then I thought, well, NASA, everything, all the knowledge we're getting from space is coming from NASA. They faked fucking moon landings. Wait a minute. And then you start looking into and like, where's the real footage of this shit? Space shuttle hoax. And then I start doing some investigating, and I found out that in the 50s we didn't even know what we were on. In the 50s it was still a theory. We were still like, there's no proof that the Earth is even spinning, because mainstream science will tell you that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour, and then we're going like 60,000 miles an hour around the sun, and then the sun is going like a fucking 500,000 miles around the galaxy, and every star you see is doing the same thing, right? Like, what? And the moon's we only see one side of the moon. What? How everyone's spinning, but we see the same shit. We see the Orion's belt. Like, you see the North Star and everything's spinning around the North Star. Goes, wait a minute, what's on the other side of the sun? And then you start, and then in the 50s, we didn't know what we were on. In the 50s, we didn't know we were on. We weren't high enough. That's when we started going high. And the guy who went the highest first, he went 50,000 feet in the air in a balloon in like a little mini submarine. His name is Auguste Piccard. Look him up.
He's in that commercial. Have you seen that commercial?
Exactly. Look into the real shit. Look into the real shit. He goes 50,000 feet, the highest ever. Commercial planes go 30,000 feet. He went 50,000 feet, and he said, unless this is bullshit, I mean, according to the shit that I read, he said the Earth appears to be a flat plane with upturned edges. Whatever the fuck that means. He comes down, NASA's formed, they lock up space. Space is government now, and we're going to tell you what's up. We're going to tell you what's up with space. So, like, what are these stars? I don't know what stars are, but you know what? When you look through a high-powered telescope, they're just like lights and shit. And then how do you get, the star's made of this, if it's a red light, it's made of this. Like, it's a bunch of fucking lights. Look through you can go on YouTube and look at what high-powered telescopes are looking at when they look at the stars.
So you believe the Earth is flat?
Well, I don't know. No, I don't know. All I'm saying is shit. I don't believe shit from NASA. I don't know. Show me a picture.
At the edges? That's the only thing that
No, okay. This is what they believe, right? It's flat like this. There's an ice wall around it. The North Pole is the middle, and the sun and the moon go around like this. So when the sun's over here, it's dark over here because it's so far away.
Hold on.
It never sinks.
It's not a universe. It's like literally the sun goes around the Earth.
Yes. The stars, everything revolve around Earth. We are the center, just like all the ancients believed. We are the center of some special thing. And this is, now if you look at the cosmic microwave background, there's a documentary called The Principle. It's on the Copernican principle, and the Copernican principle is the heliocentric model, which the Earth and the planets revolve around the sun. That's heliocentric. The sun's in the middle. Right? And then we found out later, it's like, oh shit, we're going around a black hole or whatever. That's what they thought. But the geocentric model is everything revolves around us. Like we're a flat plane and everything's going around us. And in 2006, they took the cosmic microwave background. It's a picture of the universe, and top astrophysicists, professors in MIT, they're like, damn, it looks like everything is rotating around us. Everyone thought it must have been some kind of fuck up in the picture or whatever. So for years, since 2006, they're like, oh man, like some people are going, dude, this fucking cosmic microwave background snapshot of the universe shows that the stars are going around us. We're the center. Most people thought, that's bullshit. You can't say that. Like, you can't say that. The Bible was right? And then they did it again in 2013. They took another, it's a special snapshot, and the European Space Agency did it, not NASA. Same shit. They just want to control this. Well, anyways, so they came back, same fucking thing. 2013, 2014, European Space Agency. They said all these motherfucking stars are rotating around us. I don't know if that's true or not. But what I'm seeing, what I know is true, is there's a lot of debate going on about whether we're still not even sure if we're going. That's all a theory. And then you start looking into it like, this shit's us going around the sun is a theory? I thought I read it in science. It's another fucking hoodwink. It's another level of hoodwink.
Like, who knows what we're on? You know, my flat Earth story, and I've said this on Joe Rogan's podcast, until I see pictures of the Earth from space, you don't know if it's flat or round. Nobody knows, because there are no pictures of Earth from space. They're all fake. So, and you know me,
You don't think there's satellites out there? You don't think there's any of that stuff?
There's no proof of it.
There's no proof of satellites?
You got to take someone's word for it. There are no pictures of satellite in space. No one's ever seen satellites in space. It's a scam. It's a money scam. Every time they launch one and they get a bill, it's just a bunch of people trying to get funding.
And that's where I felt you and Jones, a little bit butted heads there.
Yeah.
Where
He spends so much time on shit that really matters. That's the shit that really matters. Like, he spends time on politics and what all the scams going on in Washington, D.C. and how we're being fucked. And he knows so much about it, and he proved it on Joe Rogan's podcast. Joe kept calling him on the shit he was saying. Boom, evidence. Jamie threw it up. He backed up everything he said on Joe Rogan's podcast. There's no denying that. If you're denying that, you're either a shill or there's something wrong with your brain, because he proved everything he said.
It fractures everything.
But it doesn't mean he knows everything.
No.
And he doesn't spend that much time on. He doesn't really think about.
You can't crack every case.
You can't, and he doesn't spend. I know him. He doesn't really look into space. And the shit that we were talking about, where it was all about the whole Buzz Aldrin thing, And me, I'm obsessed for the last 15 years. When Joe was all into it, even when Joe was all into it, I'm obsessed with how they got the world to think that we really went to the moon. Nobody went to the fucking moon. It was totally fake. And even Alex Jones admitted it was fake. Figuring out how we're being bullshitted is very. I'm obsessed with it. How are they bullshitting us? I love that.
See,
shit.
I like that.
I love that.
I like that Eddie's like
I don't
this.
like
I
just
think
want
you need people like this. Like
Yes.
he loves it. He loves it.
I think this is how crazy I am. I think we're being lied to about fucking everything.
Your kid's gonna grow up just super skeptical of everything.
I'm already telling him don't trust anything you see on TV. We don't let him watch TV. We let him watch a little cartoons here and there, a little bit.
SpongeBob's corrupt as fuck.
But I'm going to raise him not trusting TV. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can't say nobody would ever disagree with that. The TV is not good for kids. It's not good for kids.
Why don't you have a show on the Alex Jones channel? What has happened?
I agree.
You
what
went
the
there.
Fuck?
I went a total retard on him. I went full flat Earth on him.
Even he doesn't believe in flat Earth.
No. Most conspiracy theorists, do not. They think flat Earth is the most retarded thing ever. When Joe first brought it up, like about a year and a half ago, he said, "Dude, he was trying to." Basically say how stupid people are. He said, do you know people still believe the Earth is flat and the sun is 3,000 miles away? And I remember sitting there thinking, shit, what are they, Amish or something? Like, how dumb do you have to be to think the world is flat?
Videos later.
How dumb? No. And then you brought it up again. And then you brought it up again. You brought it up again, like maybe 6 months later, and I said on your podcast, I said, that is so dumb. That's got to be some kind of CIA psyop. It's got to be some kind of destruction.
Did you take a weird left turn?
And then I was in class, and we were talking about conspiracy theories, and my buddy Manny, full blown conspiracy theories.
Jiu-jitsu class.
He goes, do you ever my jiu-jitsu class? He goes, we're talking about my YouTube class.
I thought it was a conspiracy class.
No.
I was like, God, you go to school?
He teaches.
I teach.
No, I know that. I thought he meant like a straight class.
Open
I teach people how to kill.
Look out the door.
I'm
there
very
you
weird,
go.
brother.
Also, so Manny turns to me and goes, dude, you ever look into flat Earth? This was like 8 months ago or something. And I said, right when he said that,
Manny, you ever look into astronomy?
Yeah, right when he said that.
Manny, did you miss fourth grade?
Right when he said that.
Manny, anybody drop you on your head?
Manny, what are you smoking?
I can't believe anything that ever comes out of his mouth again.
That's
what I thought. I'm like, Jesus. And I'm like, Manny,
Eddie.
please don't ever bring that shit up again. You keep that shit, dude.
Cut to.
Dude, that's a
We're
CIA
getting dramatic.
psyop.
I sense the turn.
And then another guy comes, I'm telling you the story, and then Ernest comes up to me and he goes, hey man, you ever look into flat earth? I said, dude, Jesus goddamn Christ.
Okay,
I go,
so
that's
when
the
did it
dumbest
turn?
shit. And he goes, hey man, I got a master's in engineering, look into it. And I just wanted to go, I just went home and I was just gonna
How about
give him
looking at what fucking school that was so we can tell people?
Phoenix Online.
But hey man,
That's the same shit.
Yeah.
I'm so crazy. I so don't believe anything.
You want something else to do.
Yeah, I tried to debunk it. I was trying to debunk it. I was
Eddie,
Mr. Debunker.
Eddie, there's a fucking Japanese satellite that takes a photo from 22,000
Those are
miles
the
out
worst
every 10
pictures
minutes.
ever. Come on,
Oh,
those
really?
Japanese
It doesn't
pictures.
show that
Those
it's
pictures.
flat though, even if the
Young
pixel's all
Jamie,
fucked
pull
up.
up those pictures. It does
Those
not the worst
Japanese-
pictures.
put up those
Eddie,
Japanese
it's
pictures.
from 22,000 miles away.
I can't believe you believe those pictures.
Do you remember when you had a flip phone?
Man. I can't
You remember when
believe
you had a
That's-
flip phone, dude, and you had the front-facing cameras were always dog shit.
Always.
And the back-facing one was pretty legit.
They're all, yeah, that's how it works, man.
22,000 miles away. It's hard to take a good
Fake
iPhone
pictures.
7.
So have you ever seen a picture of it flat
Hold
though?
on. Eddie,
No,
but
I
hold
didn't
on,
say
Eddie,
that.
but
I didn't
hold
say
on,
that.
Eddie.
But the crazy thing, I'm not saying it's flat. I'm just
You're
saying,
saying it's not
damn, when you
round?
look into it, I'm saying we don't know what the fuck we're on.
But wait a minute, Eddie.
That's
This
what I'm saying. We don't
Japanese
know what we're on.
satellite. This Japanese
Look into
satellite. Hold on, Eddie. This Japanese satellite that all these hundreds of scientists worked on
Fake
for like
NASA.
a decade.
They faked moon
They shoot it out
landings.
into space.
They
They
faked
take
the moon
a
landings.
picture every 10 minutes, and you can download it from the website. There's a
CGI
picture.
composites.
So constantly making CGI in some sort
Constantly.
of a computer
Constantly.
bank somewhere.
Yes. Like they
But
do it in
why-
NASA. NASA, that's what they do.
Why do you think if
Does-
they have the technology to make CGI that looks that good, why don't they have the
How come
technology
NASA- where's
to
the pictures
shoot a
from NASA?
camera into space?
Where's the pictures from NASA? How come they don't have any?
They don't have that space kind of
they don't have the technology?
No, they just never did it.
They also
Eddie,
don't give
Eddie,
a fuck about proving it's round.
These
Eddie, they
Japanese
don't-
pictures, I've seen them. Put them
They
up.
don't
They're
have
terrible.
that kind of
Show me a
space
real
satellite.
picture. Show me a real
But
picture.
listen, NASA
Find
does
it.
not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
That's fake as fuck.
Why does it look fake
It looks
as fuck?
like something you'd see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie, they try to make it look like this, which is what looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real?
They faked 6
Eddie,
moon
Eddie, dude,
landings.
stop saying that because it's irrelevant. We're not talking about the
looks
same
like- it looks
people.
fake to me.
Eddie, that's 1969. We're talking about 2017.
That looks fake
So
as
you
fuck.
think there's some gigantic conspiracy involving the Japanese government where they put up a fake picture of the Earth from 22,000 miles up every 10 minutes? High resolution.
Yes.
Downloadable
Yes.
photo. You think
Yes.
it's fake? Well, why wouldn't it be just real? Why isn't it just as likely that the Japanese actually did launch that thing into space? Why would it be fake?
Propaganda, man.
Okay,
Why
so
would they care that it's not
is there a
flat?
photo of this flat Earth?
No, I don't. Like I just said again.
That's what I
There's
asked.
Is there a
there's
photo
no
of
there's
this-
no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo of the round Earth from
That's
space.
not true. That's not
the
true.
truth. It's all
No,
fake.
those. Why do you say they're fake though?
There's-
What
they
evidence?
look fake. They look
Okay,
CGI.
But you're not an expert in imagery.
Looks fake to me.
Do you
What would
remember-
convince
hold
you,
on,
though?
hold
When I
on a
watch
second.
Avatar,
When
I
you
don't need to be an
watch-
expert to know it's
you
fake.
went to the
When I watch
movies, Eddie.
Avatar, I'm not an expert. It's fake.
Avatar's at the movies. When you watch some ridiculous kung fu video, being a martial arts expert, if you were sitting next to someone who told you that their sensei can't compete in the UFC because they're too deadly, wouldn't you get pissed off? Because you're an actual martial arts expert. That's just like you, with no science background whatsoever, talking
I'm
about
crazy.
these photos. I
I'm
know,
crazy.
But why think like that? Why,
I'm crazy.
But why indulge
Crazy.
that?
I'm crazy.
But why not indulge?
owns crazy.
Why not indulge the full realm of possibilities and not cling to the conspiracy every single time?
No, it's NASA can get pictures. They've been doing CGI
Okay.
composites
But please answer
this
my
whole
question.
time.
Forget,
So I'm not
forget
gonna-
about stating what NASA does. Please answer my question. Why do you always go towards the conspiracy? Why do you never consider the possibility
Too
that
many
maybe?
lies.
But
Too
Eddie, they're
many
not
lies.
the same people.
It's all the same.
So everybody's
it's
lying?
a global thing. Yes, all the European space agencies lying.
They're all
all in on it. It's
That's-
a global thing.
So what do you
I think
think's
all
going on up
government-
there?
I think all governments, most of them, the globalists, they're all working together to control their
What's
their
the
people.
advantage, though,
That
Eddie, if the
seems so
Earth isn't
crazy.
round?
Yeah, I
What's
told
the
you, I'm
advantage?
crazy. I'm
I know, but what's
crazy.
the advantage that it's not round?
Well, then if
They control you, bro, with
They
the
just
ice
want to
wall.
fuck with us?
keep you on a there's I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
Doesn't make sense.
Look
Why wouldn't
into
they
it. Look
make
control?
into it.
sense? Why-
They could just control people
why
You
just
lie?
gotta
as
find
easily
out
on
and
a
find the
ball.
sense. You could find the sense.
No, the real
it's really
problem
easy.
would
You
be-
put them on a ball because
again, I'm crazy. You put them on a ball. My guess is you're on a ball, you're nowhere. Don't try to go anywhere. Just stay there and work.
Oh, hell no.
Stay
You
there
saw
and
the
work.
Truman
You ain't
Show.
trying to go
You
nowhere.
watched the Truman Show a little too
They
much.
sat down and said, you know what, we got to release some fake math that shows that you can demonstrate that the Earth is round. We got to
Dude, there's no
release that.
pictures
We gotta
of
work.
the Earth from space, man.
What is that? We just looked at one, Eddie. Stop saying that.
It was fake.
You don't know that it's fake. Okay. But you're saying, look, it's a real problem when you
I'm
say
crazy.
something. But don't say that.
I
Just
am.
stop. Just stop and think. Because you're communicating to millions of people. And
Exactly.
you're saying something that doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
But you don't know anything about imagery. You don't know anything
I don't.
about what. You don't know anything about that.
It looks fake to me.
You're saying
That's a
it works,
fake ass
but you don't
picture.
have. Come on, Eddie. You're just looking at it with the naked eye. It looks real to everybody else in this room. I
Okay.
think you're
So what
coming
does that
at it
make
with
me?
a confirmation bias.
Crazy, right?
I don't think it makes you crazy.
I'm just having fun with it.
But you have
So
this
don't
direct
yeah.
inclination to always go towards a conspiracy.
It
when I
doesn't.
think
Why
it's-
does it doesn't have
gives
to
your
piss
opinion.
anybody off?
It's a disservice
You should just be
towards
like,
your
hey,
opinion.
that's what you think. Cool. No, it
It's-
doesn't have to. Like you're getting angry about.
No,
it.
I'm not getting angry at all.
Well, we're just being
not even-
stoners here. We're
but
being
I'm not
stoners.
raising
I'm like,
my
I don't
voice.
believe that shit.
I'm not raising my voice. What I'm trying to do is corner
sorry.
your ideas. I'm trying to corner your ideas because you're saying these things to. You're very influential. You're saying these things to millions of people, but I don't think you're thinking correctly.
I'm telling. I know. That's why I've stated many times
That you're crazy. But
I'm
here's the
losing
problem.
my mind.
When when do you think you started losing it?
I think I was, as soon as I found out when I was 11 that everybody wasn't Catholic.
That was it.
That's when I started losing my mind.
That's
I'm like,
what
wait a
did it?
minute. I'm like, everybody's not Catholic? I thought everybody was Catholic. There's other religions? Then how do we know we're right? There's a bunch. What's a Jew? Oh shit, there's more Jews than Catholics? How do we know we have the right religion? I'm like, okay.
You start
then
questioning
right there,
it.
yes. That's when I started going crazy.
That's so funny.
People that question authority are usually looked at as crazy.
There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way. There's no way people went on the moon. There's no way.
There's no way that that was a hoax. There's no way. There's no way that that was a hoax. There's no way.
And now for something completely different.
So, you're over the age of 18?
No, not really.
Could
Not if I can help it.
describe your relationship status?
With social media? Okay. Last night I was up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Flat Earth has gone infrared. They've got infrared cameras now, and they're spotting from 200 feet up mountains over 150 miles away. At 30,000 feet, they can see mountains 500 miles away. And there's even one guy who, on a plane above Illinois, he's seen the Hudson Bay 1,200 miles away. Check out the maths.
Okay.
And believe the Bible, which is the only book that says it's flat. It's flat.
Praise the Lord.
Sarah, what just happened?
Great.
They see me rolling, they hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty, 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 trying to catch me riding dirty.
Wake up.
This world is not what you think it is. This world is not what you think it is.